Hey, how's it going to everybody out there? Just wanted to drop a real quick note. We know it is the Valentine season, and those have forgot about that special Valentine's for their other or whatnot. Just go out there, find it, do it. It's commercialized or whatever like that. But everybody has their own little, intricate kind of details that they do. Me and my wife always go sit there and run get a steak dinner. We don't buy presents. And we go eat, stuff like that. So I actually wanted to just bring Pastor Todd on here right now to actually do a chime in on that. Because what I was thinking about it was more on the part of, since it's such a romanticized thing and it's really kind of, a new devotion, almost like newly acclimated for the next year devotion, or kind of, how do you say, I don't know, commitment, maybe a recommitment to somebody God to, really pledge back to your partner. How does that really, or could it really help a purpose, that kind of thing, going with that kind of trend, even though it shouldn't be a yearly thing? I think, this is just a celebration of it, maybe, kind of thing. But, as a person that really believes in having everything in cohesion when it comes down to your life and finding your purpose and engulfing that, what kind of that kind of commitment would that be made to your romantic partner, or how could that help, or maybe not help?
Yeah, awesome. Great question. One of the things that I think is really, really important on the journey or the discovery of purpose is understanding one fundamental truth. And we can pull this from the book of Genesis, where God says to Adam, it's not good that the man should be alone. And I don't think he's talking just to the man, but he's talking to both. That aloneness and being by yourself doesn't lend to success in any endeavor, be it a business, be it a marriage with an intimate life partner. It's hard to do that alone. It's
Mhm.
impossible to do that alone. And when it comes to living out one's life purpose and really fulfilling yourself, having a partner, a spouse, somebody that you're romantic with is a vital, vital part of you living out your best.
Mhm.
So when God recognized that Adam was alone, he brought Eve to him.
Mhm.
And together, that partnership it was a twofold partnership. It had two elements to it. One, that they were going to perpetuate the race through engaging in intimacy with each other, which couldn't be done with any one person, like just one person alone.
Yep.
And then secondly, the responsibility or the task that was given to them to manage the garden, to grow, to replenish, to have dominion, came through their cooperation together. And so partnership, be it in business, be it romantically with a life partner, is essential to individuals being their best. You can be good by yourself, but you can't be your best by yourself. And you could do a lot and be very accomplished by yourself, but you can never be you can never excel to the highest possible point that you could be by yourself. It's going to need to take the coordinated effort of a lot of other people. And so one of those key peoples is your life partner, right? Your husband, your wife, that individual who can connect with you at the most deepest and intimate place and understands your fears, your intrepidations, but also can understand and celebrate with you your joys and your victories. So during this time where people are focusing a lot on this particular area of love, it's a really good time to reignite your passion, your vision. And if you don't know that, it's still good for individuals to come together and explore that together.
Absolutely. So, what I'm getting from you, and I'm thinking of, it's one of those things that maybe I would say maybe the devil is in the details and the small things. I know, like we just talked about before we started rolling, we're not, either one is not the commercialized form of Valentine's, but at the same time, there's different points throughout the year that you're looking at with your partner in order to celebrate, whether it be the anniversary, whether it be that partner's birthday, whether that be like I said, Valentine's Day, whether it be, I don't know, April Fools, on New Year's, those kind of things. Um, how are those little kind of things, maybe celebration, a good way to help, keep that going? Because there's some different things where a partner is, the small things are what really they like to celebrate. And you hear a lot of partnerships where they start focusing so much on the business and the commercialism and the finance, all that kind of stuff. They forget about those small little gatherings. Hey, it's not for a fact that you didn't celebrate Valentine's Day. It's just the fact that we never do anything, and you never take any of these into some kind of real importance to that. Is it really important to really take even those small little kind of nuances a little bit serious, or what do you think?
Bro, listen, I think it's not only a little bit serious, it is fundamentally serious. Let's say, for example, you're trying to build a business. You have weekly meetings. Sometimes you have daily meetings to get your business going, right? If you play a sport, you have weekly and daily practices, because you can never be good at something what you do occasionally, and so probably going back now, I don't know, maybe I'd say a little, maybe 7, 8 years, and now my wife and I have committed ourselves to weekly date nights.
Nice.
So it's dialed right down to, and if I'm at home, if we're at home on one of the nights that we're supposed to be out, my kids are like, what are you guys doing here? Right. So we made it a custom, a tradition. It's a practice, acculturated into our home, that as much as possible, there are days and times where, we've got to forego it or switch it to another day, but the constant, the consistency, probably is a better word, the consistency of, focusing on your partnership, on your relationship, on a regular basis is fundamentally important. There's a proverb that said the little foxes that spoil the vine. Well, there are also little things that contribute to the success. Watering that plant every day. Feeding it the right nutrition. So when it comes to intimate relationships between a man and a woman, or a husband and a wife, what's fundamentally important is that they are regularly investing in the quality of the relationship, right? Regular. All the commercial stuff set aside. That's just for the commercial side, for people to big it up and make a lot of money on Valentine's. That you can never really have any major success with a once in a year kind of celebration, right?
Absolutely.
It's got to be a consistent daily. And I say to couples, you may not be able, whatever your life circumstance, to do it every week, but it may need to be every 2 weeks or every month, or, some consistency that you are not doing it. And you're not even doing it just when you're eating, you're kind of investing in each other, right? You're putting that small investment that builds up over time. So that's a phenomenal area that we can discuss a lot more, but it's important to be always making little contributions that go a long way.
Absolutely. Because I say my last little chime in kind of question about it is, if you don't have a person you're going home to that is literally unhappy with you specifically, and what gets to the point where they're so tired of not really having that kind of engagement with you, they don't even want you around, that in turn is going to make you unhappy. So how are you going to be successful if your soul is not, when you go to work, you're just, oh God, oh my God. People, my current boss right now, he's going through divorce, and you could tell he's not in there. He tries his best to drown his face in work and all that kind of stuff, but you can tell he's just not there. You know what I mean? He got hurt the other day, got an accident. So now that turned out, now he's in the hospital, and it's just like a whole bunch of problems, even though he does have a successful business. You know what I mean? So, but it's steady going down. It's steady going down. The wife is, trying to sue, and it's just all kind of problems, so it's crazy.
A lot of people don't recognize how critically important it is that our marriage relationships are fundamental to our success and our health and our well-being, right? Well, when the Lord says it's not good for man to be alone, he's also saying that having another person contributes to your mental well-being, your emotional well-being. And when that starts to unravel, it doesn't matter how successful people might think it is. Like you said, it's a successful business. But when the relationship starts to unravel, a piece of you starts to unravel. Like, it could be your confidence. It could be, a lot of men and women, they lose their relationships and they plummet down into alcoholism, or they plummet down and they lose everything, because that relationship is so essential to keeping them psychologically, emotionally, spiritually in a good place. And when that's torn apart, then people start to falter, and it's really a hurtful and hard thing. So whenever people go through those type of experiences, it's really, really difficult. But again, a lot of times that happens because people aren't making the small investments over a long period of time. Meaningful investments. Maybe one day we could talk about what are some of the things that need to happen in those small conversations. It's not just, oh, we went out to eat and we ate, but we didn't talk. We didn't really explore our hearts. We didn't confront each other with the challenges that we're having. And my wife and I, we've gone through that. And sometimes it's difficult, have hard conversations. It's difficult to go through seasons when it's tough. Fundamentally, you've made a commitment to be there. But your real growth is going to come from dealing with the things that maybe are oftentimes unspoken. They're unspoken expectations that they're festering in the heart. And it may not even be anything directly related to the partner. It's probably something that you're just dealing with, but they're your life partner. They're the person that, can help, walk you through, pray you through, cry you through, whatever it needs, encourage you through. Those are the kind of things I think why what you're saying is fundamentally important in this during this time too. And we could use this as a time to kick it off, to say, hey, let's start now.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Awesome. Pastor Todd, thank you so much for coming in, giving your input. If I know you don't celebrate it, but still happy Valentine's Day to you and the wife. Tell her happy Valentine's for me. And hope you guys enjoy the rest of the week. Until next time.
We'll do it. And let's do this again. This is great.
Absolutely. Hey, the guys, don't forget, right there, subscribe, Purpose Institute Nation. We're dropping great gems like this all the time. We'll see you soon.
Awesome.